yeah. Davido there, kicking off the second hour. Jalas Kana Tamba Kutamba.
I'm telling you, it's already 12 minutes past 7.
Look, on this manic Monday.
Wow, I'm feeling like a Friday. I think it's because we missed each other. But don't bring that I missed you thing here.
But you just said we missed each other.
That's what you said when we were starting up.
I still miss you.
No, you don't. You can't. You can't. No, you will not be allowed.
I wish I was in Amara with you.
No.
Next time,
I will not. Jeff, what are you talking about?
Take me to the Mara.
Take your wife. You should not be telling me how to take you to the Mara. Take your wife. There's this thing about you when you stay away, then you come and start getting close to me. Don't do that. No.
So where are we going next?
No, we are not going anywhere with you, Saitan.
The tweets are coming in thick and fast. Keep them coming, because in this hour,
yes,
we have a one-on-one chat with a woman who runs an outfit that you all need to know about. Mm-hmm. This is all about promoting Kenya itself.
And the brand itself.
They call it Brand Kenya.
Tell me, I was in the Mara over the weekend.
We need to discuss that.
Mara in Gaya, beautiful, beautiful place.
Indeed.
I know all the tourists down there are enjoying and having a good time.
By the way, I have never heard of Mara Nkara.
Mara Ngai.
I've never heard of it.
Google it.
No, I'm just saying, as a local, imagine hatujasikia na kumeja wazungu.
And I'm telling you, one of the most beautiful lodges in the Mara there. Then we have Mara Sarova, we have Mara Serena.
I've been to those two.
We have one called AA. AA lodges.
Yeah.
Also beautiful.
What about Intrepids? Explorer,
yes, I know Explorer. Ashnell, you know Ashnell? Ashnell also beautiful.
Brand Kenya CEO Mary Luseka joins us in the studio today. We want to know what is the mandate of Brand Kenya, because I don't know, man.
Of course, there's a brand. It's a brand, and it's Brand Kenya. And then what we always believe and know.
What is the mandate?
To sell this country.
No, let's ask Mary.
All right.
Mary Luseka, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you, Jeff.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
So a lot of people, there's so many outfits, Kenya Tourism Board, this, that, the other, promoting Kenya. But Brand Kenya itself is very specific, right? Yeah. Tell us, what is the mandate?
Well, Brand Kenya was set up immediately after post-election violence, and this is because our image was really, really bad. We were seen to be unsafe, unstable, and the purpose was focus on the image and be able to create a brand for this country. And since then, 10 years down the line, what has happened is Brand Kenya has put its energy on creating that brand for the country and then promoting it out there. And the structure of marketing in government is such that we then are at the top. We create the brand. And then we coordinate all the other promotion bodies, because we don't go out to then do the promotion. The promotion bodies include Kenya Tourism Board, who promote then tourism, and they have a sales target as to how many numbers they do get. And then you have Kenya Investment Authority, they focus on investors, and then they bring in the number of investors. Expo Promotion Council focuses on how many of our products are reaching the expo markets. So the promotion agencies have sales targets, but when there's an image problem, we are the image people.
Yeah. You are the Kenyan PR squad.
We are the Kenyan PR squad.
Would you say you have done a good job the last 10 years in promoting the image?
Absolutely, yes. If you look at how we managed the image, looking at 2008, and how we ended up recovering as a country. And then 2013 was the most remarkable one, when we had Westgate. Immediately after Westgate, everything looked so hopeless. We were not very sure that we can be able to thrive again. And we had travel advisories all over the place. And remember, even our local Kenyans had lost confidence in the security systems. So it was a big deal that we had to not only brand Kenya abroad, but brand Kenya to Kenyans. So looking about 4 or 5 years later, the experience is very different. We have investments that have grown. Our image is no longer the same. We had people lining up, presidents coming into the country, the Pope, Obama, major conferences coming in. Yeah. That is a true testament of the fact that actually our image is now really, really positive out there.
Okay, so now we have 2 presidents. How does that work? If you're not living in Kenya and you hear that country has 2 presidents, what does Brand Kenya do to
tell people that,
Yeah.
our sovereignty is still there.
It's still solid.
First of all, the world looks at us and says, Kenya is a tough cookie. Because when it comes to democracy, we have shown the world that our democracy is not like the other African states, And we've come a long way in building ourselves. And I think the West is completely over. We have matured because, somebody is sworn in as a president and life is going on as is normal. You go to River Road, people are doing their business. You go to every other town, it's like nothing happened, All you read is in the paper that, this and this could potentially happen. But really, Kenyans are moving on with their lives. So we are progressing as a country in a very different way, in a unique manner that we probably will be a big example to the world.
Okay, our image abroad, has it been tarnished? Has it been, because other than this so-called swearing in, the internet is abuzz with hate of magnitude we've never seen in many years.
I don't know what's
so much hate. And people are split down the middle. Either support this side or support this side. There is no gray area. It's black or white.
Yeah.
What does that do for our image outside?
It's a very tough one because we are seen to be at a crossroads because of that duality. Where exactly are we headed? And the risks that we do see immediately, and which we are working hard with many stakeholders to mitigate, is the risk of us descending into a state of anarchy. Because rule of law is extremely important for any country. Order is what makes up a brand. That's our foundation, that we know how we do things and we are organized, and that's what brings stability for any investor, for any tourist, and so on and so forth. So right now is a case where we are beginning to be seen as probably we are lacking rule of law, and we don't want to cement that. We want to get out of it as quickly as we can. Yeah.
Tell me something. Why don't you use people like Jalango in some of your campaigns? Because, this is an easy sell, this man here, unless you have other people in mind that you pay to travel Kenya and promote Brand Kenya. No, it's a simple one. Jalas.
Unanitafutia kazi.
No, well, si utanichotea lakini. But I'm just saying, this man, he travels so much and he knows this country so well.
Yeah.
Why not use brand ambassador? I'm sure you have some.
Jeff, when you were traveling over the holidays, you were our brand ambassador. We followed you.
You saw my pictures.
Literally, all of us followed you. Yeah, yes, exactly. We did.
On the beach.
Yeah, we did. And I'm just waiting to see Jalangos. You haven't posted the Mara ones,
Oh, they're all over Instagram.
Really?
They're all over. Oh, my God.
Amazing.
That's how I knew he was in there.
Amazing.
Breakfast by the river.
I'm telling you.
Sundowners on the plains.
And you went together.
No.
Look at that, how beautiful that was.
That's beautiful.
Look at that.
That's really, really beautiful.
So that's what you do? Do you monitor people and see what they're doing? Is that...
Not really monitor,
or your
but
team?
We already have those who... ambassadors because they're passionate about Kenya.
Okay.
They don't really need to be paid. And for those, we follow what it is that they're posting out there, and we publicize it, retweet it if it's on Twitter, and really just create the hype, because the most authentic of testimonies are the ones that are raw.
And genuine. Right?
Like somebody said, Dubai didn't have to sell itself out there. The people who went and saw what the people have done there took photos and just posted. Yes. Yeah. That's when they started a campaign called My Dubai.
Don't forget, 40 years ago,
yes,
Dubai was a desert.
Yes.
With tents and Bedouins and nothing else.
Yes.
And look at it 40 years. And Mary, that's my question to you. We have a natural product. Whether it's the Mara, whether it's the coast, whether the beach, whether it's the mountain area. Oh, we've got it all. And yet we don't realize, or we don't sell it enough. What is it about us?
That's a dicey one. It's not really. It's not really about not selling it enough.
Okay, what is it?
I think there's a lot of work that needs to go into improving our product, because the product has been the same for many, many years. We are definitely doing very well in as far as the Safari product, because we have remained authentic, and that is what Safari is supposed to be. But the world is changing so much. There are all these millennials that are coming on board, and they require a different kind of product. Even Safari, as we do it, initially it had been really tailored for the Muzungu. There's a way you can deliver safari for an African, you know, and the kind of experiences they're looking for. If you look at our young men and women, you want to go see the wild, but at the same time you want a place where you can hang out in the night. So if you're told, oh, I'm going to be at this tented camp and there is no opportunity to go dancing and you know it's all serenity and everything, you almost find that the length of stay for the African becomes now shorter because they have to go and seek that other pleasure. So we have to redefine our product.
Africa Tinashida, or you're told there's no Wi-Fi.
There's no Wi-Fi. You can't stay away with no Wi-Fi.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And already there's some work going on there because the Constitution devolved product development to counties. And just 2 days ago, there was a session with the Council of Governors on how we can be able to create products that are able to bring in the number of tourists and the value that we are looking for.
Wow. Because if you see the beaches in the Mombasa, we will only go there in December or during Easter.
Right.
And they're always there. Now, even with the SGR,
yes,
you can easily ride down in Mombasa in 4 hours.
4 hours.
You took the SGR?
No, I didn't, because I was working that morning. Remember, only Dubai, I had to cover for you. Can you imagine? No.
But we had agreed this was the time we were going to take SGR for the first time.
Boss lady. Alisema, who's going to be on? Who's going to be here?
So what time does the train leave?
It was leaving at 8.
8 in the morning?
Yes.
There's the evening one. There's an evening train. Yes. So we still haven't taken this.
Can you imagine? I think we are destined to take it together.
All right. So the next time we're going to Mombasa, we go together on SGR.
Yes.
And see the beautiful country.
Absolutely. In the meantime, we're speaking to Brand Kenya CEO Mary Luseka here. We're talking about branding this country, and we need to, because let's face it, South Africa. South Africa.
Wow.
10 million tourists a year. Why can't we we've got better products?
Yes.
Do they package it better than we do? I don't think so. So the question is, what has Brand Kenya board done in line with its mandate to promote Kenya as a brand? Brand Kenya.
But now, listening to what
let's ask Mary. Let's ask Mary. What have they done?
Thanks, Jeff. There's quite a lot that goes into actually branding a country. Looking at the election here, last year, it was our biggest test in as far as our ability to maintain a positive image for the country. And we feel we successfully were able to go through that year and not only sail through the election, but also thrive moving forward. I say this because we had to work with a lot of bloggers online to make sure that we manage the narrative. Otherwise, the tonality was not right for us to be able to then eventually emerge out of that election positively. Yeah. So beyond using bloggers, we've had a lot of events that we do undertake together with the private sector, not only locally but abroad, so that then we can be able to promote goods and services that have been made in Kenya. Our skew the past a year or so has been more on investment and goods that have been made in Kenya. And this is because we have a very strong Kenya Tourism Board that promotes tourism. And we let them do that because they do it well. But in our case, there has been a gap in as far as products that have been made in Kenya, investors that are coming in. That's really an area that we have not explored as well. And if we're looking forward in as far as positioning ourselves as the manufacturing hub in Africa by the year 2022, so that then African countries can outsource their production here, the way there was a time China was the big deal in as far as manufacturing and the whole of US outsourced there, or the way Taiwan and Vietnam became the places to go make things. The goal for Kenya is to become that for the African continent, and it's virgin. Nobody else is doing it. It's our opportunity, and we want to plunge into this and make sure that it does happen. So our efforts in as far as this is concerned go towards making sure that we attract investors in manufacturing area. And this is beneficial to us because we take our tea, our coffee out of the country in gunias, and then it comes back packaged and sold very expensively to our very own people. That cannot happen. So as we go into manufacturing, as we go into value addition, then it becomes also beneficial to our people because then a lot of income is retained locally. So that is the brand we want to position out there. Diversify it so that we're not just seen as the holiday place. We want to take our space in as far as being the manufacturing hub for Africa.
Tell me something. The ads that you put out on CNN and other networks. Magical Kenya.
Wow.
Do you get positive feedback from that? Does that have an effect out there?
Oh, a huge effect, because CNN is a reputable network, and the reach is quite big, and it's meant for a particular clientele. So running an ad there then draws for us the value kind of tourists that do come in. Or if it's investors, you get people that are of value. You don't get now the backpackers and the likes, because there are networks for those kind of tourists. But then there's another campaign that we did run last year, Plus 254, Tuko na Plus Kibao.
Yeah.
That was big for us, because it was meant to brand Kenya to Kenyans. And we felt that, as Kenyans ourselves, we don't appreciate our country. We are too hard on ourselves. And when there's a problem, we almost like rubbish the whole system, instead of appreciating the progress we have made, the gains we have made as a country, and saying, okay, there might be a mistake here and there, but we are definitely moving forward. So we wanted it to be very different from other campaigns that we've done before, and we wanted it to be youthful and fun, especially because our biggest population is the young people, and that is why we made it cool like that, 254.
Did it work? Did it work?
It did work. It did work. Yeah.
There's a really need to repackage the country now to the new generation, to the people in a way that they can feel.
Millennials.
Yes, and the swag. These guys. The span of just concentrating on something is very, very short.
Very short.
So they need something that is funky, that's something that they can go with. And Plus 254 Tukona Plus Kibao was a good campaign.
We pushed that over here, didn't we?
Yeah, we had it
for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, for a few weeks.
Plus 254.
Just talking about how beautiful the country is, what this country is made
it's
of,
all about.
and what. Yeah, like last night, man. Did you see Wanyama on that one?
What? You said he came on in the 79th minute,
and on the 80th minute, the Lion of Mudwara, stinger. That was too much, man.
That was Plus 254.
Then also the rugby team,
Kenya Rugby Sevens,
the
Hamilton Sevens. The first round, they won two.
They topped the group.
They won two and drew one.
They drew the USA
in 1919. But just the crowds, the way they love the Kenyans.
Yes.
When the Kenyans come on.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Maybe Brand Kenya should take us to Las Vegas or the next one.
What do you think?
Where's it kutupeleka sisi?
Sio wako hapa.
No, wanapenda kupeleka ule msee wa Wayakiwe sana.
Basi piga nini?
Nipige sura yako. Ndivyo tuongee watu wa Wayakiwe sijui ni nini wanayo. No, when are we going to Las Vegas?
We need to go.
Can you imagine you and I in the stands?
I'm telling you.
Let's go Kenya, let's go. Let's go Kenya, let's go. We're speaking live to Mary Luseka, who probably thinks we are mad.
This is Hot. Soul. I can remember Obama dancing to this one.
At State House.
Yes.
And we all try to dance with them on stage.
Well, I'm telling you. Secret Service everywhere. Kwanza walikuwa naona sura yako wanasema this one here.
Sura yako mzuri sana.
Kwenda huko.
No, that's what they were saying.
No.
They were saying
sura yako mzuri. Secret Service say you around Obama. What do you think they say? There's no way they could have allowed you. You want to dance with Obama. Who? You were quite out.
We are live in the studio with the CEO of Brand Kenya Board, Mary Luseka, here talking about the brand itself and how they're trying to change the narrative. Remember last year's campaign, Plus 254, Tukona Plus Kibao? That was all Brand Kenya Board. And they have a new campaign coming up they're working on. Mary, you are, aren't you?
Yes, we are working on it, and we'll be unveiling it around April thereabout. This is now phase 2 of that 254 campaign. And of course, we have rejigged it. It's going to be exciting, and we hope that Kenyans can love it and be part and parcel of branding Kenya.
How can we love our country more? Because obviously a lot of us don't.
Yeah,
or we think there's another Kenya. If we destroy this one, there's another one we can go to. What is it about?
We just don't appreciate what we already have.
Why not?
It is actually a mystery that a lot of Kenyans, when they leave Kenya and they travel at another country, especially the African countries, that is when you realize, oh my God, I have a jewel back at home. I live like a king back at home or a queen back at home. And it doesn't have to be that all of us have to leave Kenya to realize that. There are so many things that we need to appreciate on a day-to-day basis. You wake up and it's peaceful. You wake up and there's an opportunity for you to earn a living. So we take a lot of things for granted.
Yeah.
And we don't have to learn it the hard way.
Correct.
Yeah.
We don't have to lose it and then you appreciate. This man was in Dubai 2 weeks ago. And, the pictures he was posting were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But how did it feel like landing back at JKIA?
Anytime the captain says,
Mabibi na mabwana.
fasten your seatbelts, we are starting our descent into the Jomo Kenyatta
International.
bro. Anytime you get back home,
Goosebumps.
the
goosebumps,
weather,
Goosebumps.
You see, yeah. And when you travel and go out in these African countries, that's when you come and realize, Kenya Airways is just why they call themselves the pride of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They are actually national airlines to so many other countries in this
Region.
region.
Yeah, and continent.
And they believe that that's the only flight. And the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport being the main hub, and they connect to the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of KQ, Mary, what do you think of their new non-stop flight from JKIA to JFK starting in October? Is that a game changer?
Oh, a huge game changer. You know very well that a lot of Kenyans are residing in America, and they're there and they bring back FDI back into the country. Yeah, but at the same time, Kenya has this agreement, the AGOA agreement between Kenya and the US, which presents a lot of opportunities for us to export our goods into the US market, and we have not exploited this agreement to its fullest potential. Actually, we are barely scratching the surface. And the vehicle to take our goods there was the biggest problem because it was extremely expensive for us to fly our goods through all the other alternative channels. By the time they get there, they're so expensive and they're no longer competitive. So now we have an opportunity. It's up to us now to feel that vehicle, feel it heading to the America,
Absolutely.
and feel it back so that then we
Correct.
also have Americans coming in to
There you
explore our tourism.
15 hours, Mary. Can you
Yes.
15 hours?
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
I was going to sell Kenya in the big way
Huge.
possible.
Yeah.
Cynthia Alusa says, Mary Luseka is listening to you on Hot 96. I'm so proud of you. Your articulation of issues. Brand Kenya is great.
Katebe Saddam Kibet says, I'll be helping Mary personally to market Kenya in the next campaign.
Oh.
254 was such a phenomenal campaign. Well done, Mary, and your team. Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
It's coming in, eh?
Yeah.
Sura yako mzuri sana, an authentic Kenya and the best way to sell Kenya.
Right.
Ambassador Edward say, good morning. Thank you so much, Mary, for opening our eyes about Kenya and its potential.
Mary, if you had a wish list, to improve or to do what you need to do, what would be top on that list other than money?
Oh, money comes first. You know, Jeff, I remember you saying that how South Africa is able to attract 10 million tourists.
Yes, a
Do you
year.
know that South Africa branding board, invests 10 billion worth of Kenya shillings towards branding its country abroad, because branding has economic consequences. It's something which bears results years to come. It's not instant. Yeah, you invest now, in 2 years you begin to see the results. And countries that have seen the impact of branding have actually invested in it. South Korea is huge in as far as branding is concerned. On African soil, of course, South Africa. But I must appreciate that Kenya is also a first in as far as this area is concerned. We were one of the first branding agencies set up ever on the African soil after South Africa. But we need to increase our investment in as far as branding, because if you blink in the dark, nobody will know you exist. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
If a tree falls in the forest, who's going to hear it?
It's like seeing a beautiful girl and all you are doing is winking. Yeah,
She thinks you have something wrong with your eye.
Yes, imagine. Like the South African board did something really nice. They decided to take some Kenyans down to South Africa
To show themselves.
to show them what Kenya is all about. You understand? So I think you should bring some people on exchange programs to also showcase Kenya, so that they be our ambassadors in their countries, beyond just using the Kenyan ambassadors.
Yeah.
Yes, you I think it's a good thing to also bring some of their people influential in their countries to come and see and talk about it.
Yeah. Mary, you mentioned South Africa board gets or spends 10 billion shillings. How much do we spend?
Well, last year we were allocated about 500 million Kenya shillings. So
That's
you can
it?
see the comparison is quite
That's it?
We have a lot
difference.
to do. We have a lot to do.
But with our limited resources, we still are able to manage, because then we have the support of Kenyans. Every time you post all these positive things about us as a country, then you extend our reach in ways which we wouldn't have been able to with the limited resources that we do have.
Another way you can help promote very easily and very harmlessly is our marathon runners, Mary, who win just about every marathon on the planet, whether it's in Vietnam, like you say, or South Korea, wherever you go. There's a Kenyan winning a marathon. Can't we exploit that? Put that on Twitter, on Facebook, another Kenyan, another victory, magical Kenya, whatever,
I'm telling you, we want to do even more. The biggest question that we've always had is, branding is supposed to translate into economic benefits at the grassroots level. Beyond the athletes themselves earning an income, we need to transform lives, in Kenya as a result of that. And turning this into a business, athletics into a business. And in regard, we realize that our people go to London to run. Our people go to Boston, to Berlin for all those marathons. When is Kenya going to have an IAAF league kind of run that is happening here so that we are on the international calendar? So I'm really happy to state that we are already in the process, in very, very advanced stages of having that become a reality. And we are working with one of the board members from IAAF. We are also working with one of the committee members of the International Olympics Committee. And in collaboration with Brand Kenya, we are going to be unveiling a running festival.
Oh.
And mark the word, running festival. It's a whole mix that is so different, so unique, never seen anywhere else in the world. And this is something we'll be unveiling in the past a week or so. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fast. And we expect there'll be a lot of attraction from the rest of the world coming into the country. And our goal is to make sure that now we get an opportunity not only to position Kenya as the athletics, giant as that we are, but at the same time attract 100,000 people to come into the country during that time. Now, those are the numbers we need to be talking about.
Absolutely. And it's not that difficult to do, right?
No, it's not.
Well, God, I don't know why we got it so wrong for so long. So wrong for so long.
But the work there, it's being done.
To turn it around.
We'll get us there.
To turn it around.
We'll get us there. It's a long journey, but we will get there.
Like this young man, Katebis, who's saying he wants to be a part of your campaign, next campaign. If people are listening to you right now and they want to be a part of Brand Kenya, they're so proud of this country, what do you tell them, Mary?
Well, they're already part and parcel. In whatever it is that they do, whenever they post positive stories about Kenya, their experiences, they're already part of it. However, there's a structured way in which we can be able to work together. We have a brand ambassadors program, and all somebody needs to do is send us an email, and then we guide them on how to become part and parcel of that program. One can send an email to my address, which is ceo@brandkenya.go.ke, and we immediately get in touch with them.
ceo@brandkenya.go.ke.
Or on Twitter, on Facebook, anyone can reach us.
What is it, Brand Kenya handle?
At Brand Kenya.
On both Twitter, Facebook, everything.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Fantastic.
At Brand Kenya.
At Brand Kenya. Remember, folks, if you want to get in touch immediately, because we need the positive feedback. Okay, Mary, what do you tell the haters? Because they are there, and they're people who literally wake up in the morning to spread hate. What do you tell them?
Kenya is unstoppable. Kenya is unstoppable. We are modern, we are rapidly industrializing, we are dynamic, we are entrepreneurial, we are so innovative, our energy is just booming, and we are moving forward, and nothing is going to pull us back.
Absolutely. Good attitude. Good attitude and good message. The bottom line, if we have this conversation a year from now, will it be different?
It wouldn't be different. It will be better. Yes. It will be better because we'll be looking back. We will have done the running festival. will look back, would have branded our country in as far as 254 campaign, and will be progressing as a country in the right direction in as far as positioning ourselves as a manufacturing hub. Those are the three main things I see that in the future we'll be looking back and saying, wow, we started this journey, and the trajectory that we have been able to put ourselves on is quite big. Yeah.
Hopefully you get more money too to push your campaign. You could always use some more money. We're speaking live to Mary Luseka. She's the CEO of Brand Kenya Board. Again, Mary, the email address is CEO at brandkenya.go.ke. Wonderful. Wow. And all the platforms, it's all about at Brand Kenya.
Anytime you have that beautiful photo of wherever you are,
post it.
That lodge you are staying at, the beach that you are basking on the sun.
Yes, absolutely. I was on the beach with the beast.
Yes.
Buying fresh octopus off the sea.
Yes.
Smoking. George King Gustavo says, this is indeed a lovely country, ready to be an ambassador as well. You'll be a very big ambassador.
A very, very huge. Huge ambassador.
Katebi Sam, he's gotten your email already, and he says he will get in touch, Mary.
Good.
They're already responding. Let's do that.
BJO Brian Otoma says, ask Madam Luseka about the conservation of Kenyan culture. Since Maasai is the only predominant and the most popular culture internationally, are we selling any other culture, or every other person coming into the country just know that, you know what, all Kenyans are Maasai?
I think it's because the Maasais have been able to preserve theirs, and when people come in, they want to experience, touch, and feel this culture. And sometimes when it is not readily available from other communities, and it's perceived that it's not there, but we know that it is actually there. Turkanas are huge. There's a Turkana festival that happens every year. Lamu and the whole coastal culture is extremely big, and there are many other festivals that are now coming up, so that then we begin to showcase what it is that we have.
Wow. Again, you need to get other ambassadors on board, Mary. That's what you need to do. That's the bottom line.
The ones with the heavy influence.
Exactly. Influencers.
And the numbers and everything. Somebody might just post that beautiful thing and it's authentic, but also with the 10 or 20 followers, maybe only a few would see it. That's where now other brands go big, where they decide, Jeff with his 1.4 million followers.
We amplify.
We amplify what this person has tweeted.
Yeah.
Or just a retweet.
One retweet.
Yes.
Look at India, Bollywood using their actors.
Yes.
We tweet something, it's like,
it's
10 million retweets.
Brand Kenya need to be funded better.
Siongee na watu wako.
Nitaongelesha. Wow.
Yeah, we've been speaking live to Mary Luseka, CEO Brand Kenya Board. Mary, we're going to give you the last word now. Talk to your people out there, millions of people out there going forward. What do you tell them?
Kenya is all of us. There is nothing called Brand Kenya that is the infrastructure or the mountains and all that. It is the people that are actually the brand. And we as the people can decide where Kenya goes, whether it is moving forward or moving backward. And I believe that the spirit of Kenya is that which focuses on how do we move forward in the right manner, both from an economic, political, and social perspective. And really my call to everyone is, the past 1 week has been actually quite tough, where we are seen to be at a crossroads. And in this moment, it will be best to let the systems work. Let the systems work, and let's not all of us then jump into it, because then in that moment of euphoria, we can quickly lose whatever it is that we have worked so hard to be able to make gains as a country. So as we then engage with each other on our social media platforms, it's extremely important that we are sober in whatever it is that we do post out there. And the energy that we need to have is that which is, how do we safeguard what it is we have gained so that we don't lose, that is really my call to everyone. And if we join hands in that spirit and in the actions that we do undertake, I think in the next 2-3 weeks we'll be seeing a totally different Kenya, and the whole world will be bowing down at us and saying that is a democracy, that is the new democracy, that is a model for everybody. Yeah,
absolutely, well said. In fact, Cyrus Rotich says, Mary Luseka, I'm impressed and I'm inspired. Katibi Sam Kibet, you want to know that address again? CEO at brandkenya.go.ke.
Jumbo Trek Africa says, awesome discussion. Let's push greater heights in terms of tourism. More ambassadors we'll do a good job.
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you so much, everyone.
And thank you.
Part of the conversation.
Absolutely. And thank you, Mary Luseka, CEO, Brand Kenya Board. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. Do you guys answer to Najib Balala at the end of the day? Is that it? CS Tourism?
We work very well with him. Unfortunately, we are not at his ministry, or should I say, but we are at industry.
Yeah.
We report to Aiden Mohammed.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you can see branding is everything. That is why we are doing manufacturing, positioning Kenya as a manufacturing hub, but at the same time tourism. So we are partners in all this.
Wow, I see. Yeah. Wow. Besides, Najib is busy skydiving, Malia.
He's an ambassador, a big one.
I'm telling you, if he didn't dive like that, very few people would have known.
You know what I'm saying?
The skydiving, and it's really growing huge. If you go to Diani, make sure you skydive.
Even at Sarova White Sands.
Yes, White Sands.
I'm telling you.
You skydive dove? Is that the what?
Skydive dove.
You skydive? Thank you so much, Mary.
This is what we call
candid interviews with decision makers.